Hey, folks, and welcome to another episode of the Lonesome Cowboy Podcast. I've been watching these folks for a little bit now and finally said, I think they need to be on the show. And they said they would. And I'm so glad to have Stacy and Troy from Satellite Birdhouse.
Thanks so
How are
much for
you?
having us.
Hey,
Nice to be
Hi.
anytime,
here.
guys. Yeah, thank you. So first thing off the bat, what's a satellite birdhouse?
It is a real phenomenon.
Is it?
I was visiting my father, who lives in Wyoming, Ontario, near Sarnia, London area.
I didn't even know there was a Wyoming, Ontario.
There is, yeah. It's very quaint, very small,
Yeah,
and
sounds
its
like it.
home. And we were taking a drive through the country fields, and my dad was showing us around some of the old haunts he used to explore as a kid, and he
Sure.
took us to what he called the secret road, um,
Oh,
which was it was a street I'd never seen before. I thought actually it was a river that wound underneath this overpass in Sarnia, and it's actually a paved road on the Amjanon Reserve. And so we took a drive through there, and at one point, this road it just sort of winds through the forest. There's no houses, just a solitary road through a forest. And we come to a clearing, and we look in the clearing, and there's a birdhouse up in a tree with a wire that winds up to a Bell satellite dish. And yeah, struck us as unusual. It stayed in our minds, and on our drive back to Ottawa that week,
yeah.
we were brainstorming band names, and we thought Satellite Birdhouse would be the
Yeah.
perfect name.
I'm curious what kind of Wi-Fi or television shows they watch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Excellent. So you guys have three singles that are out right now. And is there an album on the way, folks? Are we going to see an album soon?
There is an album on the way. Yep.
Excellent.
We're
And
working super hard on that.
okay, good. Do you have a approximately when you're going to get this out to the public?
not yet. The process right now is slowly releasing singles every few months, putting out something new, and once we've amassed a lot of material, we're gonna waterfall all the songs into an album and have a few more bells and whistles on the finished product and
Yeah.
tie it all together nicely.
Yeah.
Uh, we actually just minutes before joining the call here, we listened to the master of our next
Oh,
single. I
good.
can't say too much about it. It's top secret, but I can say that we're really happy with how it's turned out.
Yeah.
Excellent. Excellent. And this is the new single that you're putting out.
Yes.
Yep.
Can you tell us a name of the single? Or I don't care if you don't want to.
Can't say a name, but we can say that we've got some familiar friends on it and new friend.
Oh,
Um,
cool. I like it.
yeah. It's a
Excellent, excellent.
big production. We're very excited for it.
I'm glad. Excellent. So that's always brings me down to the DIY music career, which is what we're all working with right now, gang. So what's your biggest challenges that you guys are having with your music career? I mean, you're
Um,
young and beautiful people. You shouldn't have them just throwing themselves at you. An old guy like me, you know what I mean?
biggest challenge, I think, as a DIY artist, you have to wear all the hats at once. So that means you're booking shows, you are a social media expert, and spending a lot of time and energy constantly facing the public through social media. Stace does that for us, and she's fantastic. Um, you're also like we record at home, partially, and have other musicians that record from home, and we assemble the tracks at a place called Buckingham Palace Audio, which is across the river in Quebec. Um, and so we're producing our stuff. We're sitting there. We're mixing with Dean Watson at Buckingham Palace for an entire day. We're booking shows for ourselves, and so it's a lot. It sort of it fills up. I find that our energies are filled up with a lot of maintenance tasks,
Yeah, no
uh,
kidding, eh?
and on top of that, you need to schedule in time to write songs and feel creative. And
Hmm.
um, so the DIY thing, I think that's probably the biggest challenge is having the energy to do all that. Um, but I think that the more you do it, the stronger you get, the
Hmm.
stronger the machine gets, and then maybe down the road we can incorporate a little more and have sort of divide those tasks up.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
time is the biggest challenge. If we could just have another 20 hours each day, maybe it would be better. But trying to make sure that everything is covered because
Yeah.
we're very picky about we want everything to be presented as best as possible. We want to put our best foot forward, so we're always putting a lot of time and thought into every aspect of our work, and
Yeah.
that takes a lot of time.
Yeah,
But we enjoy
Excellent.
it too.
oh,
Yeah.
So
love it, love every bit of it.
Yeah.
Creatively, I like to I like this sort of like playful child energy where it's like time doesn't exist, and I have not only an afternoon, I have all night to work on this music, and it doesn't always work out that way. It's like you have to
Mm.
schedule even 15 minutes here to sit down. I'm going to have a no zero day, and I'm going to work on something for 15 minutes, even though I have all this, you know, busy life stuff coming up later. Just learning to, I guess, get into it quicker, delve into those creative depths faster
Yeah.
in that 15 minutes, and
Outstanding.
make sure you do it.
Yeah, exactly. So with that in mind, and I have asked this to every DIY artist, um, and I'm comparing answers. Some are similar. And if you were offered a recording contract, would you accept it once you've read it, or would you refuse it and maintain your independence?
Um, yeah, that would
that
really,
would really depend on
yeah,
the offer. I
yeah,
think we'd probably want to get a lawyer to look it over with us and
I've had
see.
two artists so far that have said turn down the contracts.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I personally feel like I'd probably turn it down, knowing what tends to be offered. And
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, it would really depend. It'd be nice to strike some sort of balance where we maintain the same level of creative control, and
sure.
we can even um, use the team we've been using. I'm really happy with our team. We've got an amazing team. Dean Watson from Buckingham Palace Audio in Quebec. Sean Sasnick from North Bay plays drums. Eric
Oh,
Johnson
cool.
Sugar. We've got a top secret individual on our next song.
Right on. You're
Um,
moving into
yeah.
my area code 705.
Oh yeah.
That's excellent. Now,
Yeah.
speaking of area codes, you folks are based in Ottawa?
yeah,
Excellent. And have you both called Ottawa home for your entire lives, or did you?
me, yes, I was
You,
born and
yes.
raised here.
Okay. And Troy?
I moved here when I was 19 or 20 years old.
Right on.
Before that was Sarnia, Wyoming, Kamlaki area.
Gotcha.
Southern Ontario country boy.
Good
Yeah.
stuff. Excellent. Um, I've seen you folks that you are on the Indigenous music charts.
Yeah,
Yeah. And I'm going to guess the Indigenous part is going to go on Troy's.
Oh
Um,
no.
it's actually on my side.
really?
Yeah,
Sorry, because you had mentioned, and I only did that, Troy, because you said when you were talking about the satellite birdhouse, you said something about a reserve down there, and I went, oh,
yeah.
okay. Okay. Sorry about that.
No, that's all right. I'm
Excellent.
Mi'kmaq.
Oh, are you?
I'm adopted, so my adopted family is not indigenous, but my birth family is. So
Wow. That makes for an interesting story. I bet you have a lot of interesting things to write about, not even just put into a story, can't, isn't it?
yeah, it raises all kinds of questions about identity and family and belonging for sure. So
Yeah.
definitely comes out in my songwriting.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
does.
That's excellent. Yeah. I had a chat with Tom Wilson from, and there's a man, boy,
Yeah.
I
what,
I love him.
so do I.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had the great pleasure of sharing the stage with him once
Yeah.
several years ago at the Gord Downey benefit concerts, and we all did a version of we all sang "Head by a Century" together, and
Oh, nice.
he's just such a nice guy, such a force, uh, like performance wise, and even side stage. Like he walked in sort of out of the side stage area in this big trench coat and these boots, big thick leather boots that just flabbergasted me in a swirl of smoke, and he had a leather-bound book that he was sort of flipping through, and oh, he's a
So
Canadian
cool.
legend. I love his songs. I
Yeah.
love his voice.
I've had the pleasure of interviewing the three main members of Blackie and the Rodeo Kings, and Steven, I interviewed him again for this program because here I thought, Steven's so successful, but he is a DIY artist, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
About all he has is hires is a publicist. And
yeah.
so it's amazing actually how many folks are uh, out there,
I
and
love Stephen Fearing. He's one of my favorite songwriters.
oh God, yeah.
And we have a connection that we actually just learned. We have a connection to Stephen Fearing through Mark Odette, who does our album artwork.
Nice.
He just recently did, is it Stephen Fearing's album cover? Is it the new
Yeah,
album
something
cover?
for him.
Oh,
Yeah,
for the
they've
empathist.
yeah,
Nice.
they've collaborated together on a number of things, and so yeah,
Cool connection.
yeah, it's really sweet.
Yeah, no kidding. That is kind of fun, eh? I love it.
Oh, and
Um,
Charlie Acorn too, because we saw he was
oh,
on the
Charlie, yeah.
show.
Had Charlie on the show also.
His album artwork was done by
By
Mark Odette
Mark, yeah.
too.
Yeah. Geez. I haven't had, I might have to contact Mark for something.
Call him up.
I highly
He's
recommend.
amazing.
All my favorites are using him. There you go. There you go. So, is it fair to say that Satellite Birdhouse, well, I suppose it's not just the two of you just haven't started music when you got together. Like I'm sure Stacy, you've had other bands and or musicians, or maybe you were on solo, and Troy, same thing for you, kind of thing.
This
Well,
is my first band. I've
Oh,
done a lot
really?
of session recording before this, and I have been singing like my whole life. But this is
Cool.
my first foray into being a lead on a project.
yeah,
Nice. Good for you.
for me, not so much. I've been doing this a long time.
Uh-huh.
Middle school age, age 11, I think I was in my first band, and started touring in high school and caught the bug very, very early, and I'll never stop. Um, but yeah, that was something that Stace and I, when we met, connected. We connected over music very quickly, and very quickly started singing and playing together. And yeah, Satellite Birdhouse sort of just naturally happened.
Right. So
Yeah.
one of the things I like to do is also check in and see what if the music is a full-time job for you folks, or do you all have something else that sustains you, I guess, for lack of a better word.
Well, for me, I consider myself a full-time musician.
Okay, cool.
Um, Again, I wear a lot of hats, so that means I teach music, I produce music, I do live sound, and I'm a light technician. I do
Okay.
stage management.
You're in the thick of it, man.
I do all that stuff, and then performing and
Yeah.
writing and all that stuff.
And
And
for me, I work for the government.
you're in Ottawa, of course you do.
So yeah,
That's another Sault Ste. Marie musician is also in Ottawa working for the government and is a blues guy, Al Wood. I don't know if you've ever heard of him. Yeah.
Uh,
no,
Well, you should go check him out if you haven't.
will do.
will
There
do.
you go. Well, that's outstanding. Well, you see, there's all kinds of ones. I have had some of my guests are morticians. Um, two of them actually. One is a commercial airline pilot for WestJet.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So it's amazing what all the other folks do, you know. And I have a side business myself, where I do other things. I'm a photographer by trade, so that still comes up every once in a while. So we're all doing whatever we need to do. In regards to songwriting for you two, and I want to get into the other thing too, because my wife performs with me also. So I want to talk about spouses in bands. Um, but anyways, as far as the songwriting process goes for the two of you, who starts it off? Or is it Stacy comes to Troy and says, "Hey, Troy, what do you think of this?" Or Troy does to Stacy, or is it start together? You tell me. Or who's lyric
Well,
focused and who's melody focused even?
I'm very melody focused. That the way I write songs generally, I have a full structure. I have chords, I have melody, I have an idea for a production, and I have
Wow.
the lyrics. And it becomes I've sort of backed myself into a corner where I have to I have to figure out what the music means, what emotion is coming off of this, and how do I fit it into the form appropriately. Stace, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'd say you're very. Yeah, I love your melodies, but yeah, I find that you're very more literary than me.
Yeah,
Um, you've got writer in your soul.
I
Um,
think I I think I'm a bit all over the place though with the starting point because sometimes it really is the like I'll start with chords and the feel and the groove and then the words come after. But sometimes I'm really focused on just writing the words and then I'll add melody afterwards. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not really
yeah,
sure what's more common. In terms of who starts it though, we both kind of write largely independently and we'll come to each other with, "Hey, what do you think about this?"
That's a good plan. Yeah, no
yeah,
kidding.
But like we'll write together, like we'll go to a coffee shop and sit and write and have our coffee together, but we often work separately and then come together to work on stuff.
yeah. When Satellite Birdhouse was starting, I was deep in writing for my other project. I have a rock band called the Escape Society, and
Cool.
when I'm very focused on a certain kind of project, I have trouble sort of compartmentalizing and thinking about other genres and things.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and so I wanted Birdhouse really to have a different fingerprint than all that stuff. And Stace was starting to write songs. Um, we were sitting. This was actually COVID lockdown. We were sitting on the back porch, and she was asking me. I was writing an escape song, and she was asking, what's your process like? How do you get from A to B? And I sort of chatted about it, and she was like, "Oh, I think I can do that. I'm going to go upstairs and give it a go." And she went up to her office and came down about half an hour later with our previous single, One More Afternoon. She came down with that song almost exactly as you hear it now.
Nice.
And I was like shaking. I was so excited because
I
it's such a beautiful song. Like
know.
she made me
Yeah.
cry on her first song ever.
Oh,
And I don't know about you, but my first song, it wasn't making people cry. At least, not the same way. That's
Yeah.
she's a great
Who?
writer right out of the
Yeah, no
gate.
kidding.
I wish
Outstanding.
they all came that fast though. That's the fastest anything's
The
materialized.
best ones.
Everything else takes so much longer.
Yeah, no kidding, eh? And who's that visiting there,
This is our
Stacy?
dog, Clover.
I couldn't tell if it was a cat or a dog. Clover is very dark.
Yeah, she's very dark.
Oh, that's nice. That's excellent. First dog on the show. Yay. There you go. Excellent. So, I guess it's safe to say that Satellite Birdhouse is a pretty new project, I guess, in that respect, right?
Very new.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
Um,
our first single was released last October.
yeah. So
Just getting
what's
started.
so what's the gigging situation like for you guys? I haven't seen any dates or anything on your website, so I'm kind of curious what you're up to there.
There's nothing in the calendar yet. I'm working on that currently. We're putting some dates in there. We just haven't announced anything. Um, in the meantime, our main focus is getting these songs finished and out into the world and um, building hype. We've had a lot of people very excited, friends and family. Some friends and family who've never seen us perform, just
Hmm.
just begging like, please, can you book it? Or can you do this event? And we're waiting for the right moment. We've got a lot of things to figure out. Right, we've been treating every arrangement different. We're just bringing in people as needed, what the song calls for, and so the
Hmm.
live environment is now a question mark. How are we going to serve these songs? Um, and yeah, we're figuring it out very soon.
Excellent,
Yeah.
excellent. Um, so are the songs all written, or are this something you're building slowly as it goes?
Yep, the songs for our first album were all written.
Oh, they are, right? Yeah.
Um, yeah, though we have had changes along the way. Our very first song just kind of materialized very suddenly, so we that was actually a new one that
Excellent.
got added in. But the rest of them were all they're all written. We just haven't recorded them yet.
Yeah, our the first song we released is called October,
Yes.
and late August, Stace was like, "Hey, I have this song. It's I'm getting good feedback on it from my songwriting pals. It's called October, and she sang it for me, and I was like, "Oh, we need to record this now because we can't we can't release this in December. We can't
Let's
release
do
October
this.
in December. It's got like we got to release this early October for people to enjoy." So it kind of jump started our whole
We hustled to get
yeah
that out. We worked really hard.
yeah
Excellent.
yeah.
Yeah. And you folks have been, you've had some awards, I think, so far?
We've been nominated for
Yeah,
Capital
that's
Music
it.
Award. Yeah.
Yeah. And is that happening as the soon?
May, end of May.
Right
They're
on.
being announced.
End of May, the winners will be announced, and yeah, newcomer of the year in the Capitol Music Awards. So
That's awesome that you guys, just three singles in and it's like, hey, get
Yeah,
nominated, right?
yeah, it's
Yeah.
quite the honor.
Yeah, no kidding. Guys like me been playing around since I was 14 years old. I can't afford to pay attention. Outstanding. So, what's the plan, I guess? You're one of the first folks that have been on that have been very new into their project. So the album goes out. I'm seeing how far down the road are you folks thinking? The album's out, then what's the game plan after that? Is this now it's time to think about tour? Now it's time to promote to radio? What's your game plan?
oh, we've been very fortunate. Radio has been very, very kind to us so far.
Good.
We've gotten a lot of love, not just in Canada, but around the world. Like Australia somehow picked up on our music and is
Well,
we're getting some play over there. And
Yeah.
um, yeah, radio's been really, really wonderful. Uh, Releasing the album, of course, we will tour the record and get out there and make some connections, meet some people, and play to audiences. That's something I love to do, and I've always loved to do. Um, our focus will be on Ontario and um, a lot of the communities that we have connections to, and we'll branch out from there and just sort of organically see where it goes.
And then
Yeah,
write more music
yeah,
and tour more music.
there you go. So as I mentioned, I'm in, my wife performs with me too, and we've been in bands, throughout our marriage here and there, and separate bands even. Um, I know we've had our challenges when it comes to performing together. And not necessarily performing together, but just doing the music together kind of thing. Any kind of challenges you folks running into there? I know you know what um, my wife and I have learned to communicate well and differently when it comes to that kind of stuff too.
yeah.
I think we're pretty good at
I feel pretty good.
communicating.
We're on the same page about a lot of things, especially creatively and the quality of the output, be it live performance or finished recording, or what a finished vocal take should sound like. We kind of have the same uh, standards. So like,
Hmm.
and we communicate openly is something I really like about Stace. If she doesn't like something, she'll tell you, even if it's the 11th hour, and it's like, yeah,
Not
she.
now.
It's like if we don't like something, we're not going to put it out.
That's
If
good.
our live show, if we have a bad show, we're going to talk about it and figure that out. Yeah, we're still learning. Obviously, we're a few months
Hmm.
in, and um, Stace has done some um, vocal recording for other artists, but this is like the most intense, I think, studio work that you've done with mixing and things, and
Yeah.
um, it's been cool for me to watch you learn and grow, and uh, you're becoming a faster communicator in that environment, and um, yeah, it's
I think we have a lot of trust. I
yeah,
think that's what
That's a
helps
good
this
thing.
project succeed so much. It's just we trust each other.
yeah,
We know where each other's strengths lie, and we know when to defer more to the other person. And
Hmm.
I don't know, we really value each other, and we just love what we're doing. So that really helps.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
lot of work, but we have a lot of fun together making music. So
Yeah, yeah, we have good times too. My wife is my uh, second set of ears, I guess, for lack of a better word. All of a sudden she'll hear me rehearsing because we just perform as a duo, and sometimes I'm just working on a song, and all of a sudden she'll shout from the other room, "You forgot to put your capo on."
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah, right. Different. Click.
yeah,
Or, yeah, or no, no. She goes, do that again. No. Yeah. And
yeah,
having her degree in music and being a vocalist and the whole deal herself, like I said, is somebody there you go about trust. Yeah. When she tells me, then I listen. Yeah. And go from there. Excellent. Well, what's next for Satellite Birdhouse, gang?
Well, we got a new single coming out. We've got
Yep.
a video for the single coming out as
Ooh, really
well, and
cool.
um, yeah, what else?
More music
Yeah,
And more
after
music.
that. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, I can't wait till you guys get the album out, and I also can't wait to see you performing somewhere.
yeah, we'd
Um,
love to play for you sometime.
yeah, I'd love to bump into you somewhere on the road. So,
Yeah.
which I'm heading out on in October for 2 weeks.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, we already got that planned. Me and another artist, again, collaborations, right? And we got a grant, so that
Good
helps.
for you.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it's basically the way he put it. Stay in better hotels, and in case we don't make any money.
Yeah.
Are you
Exactly.
coming to Ottawa?
No, it's actually a Northern Ontario tour.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we have an album each that he talks about mining in the Cobalt area, and I talk about the Algoma Central Railway if it's in this Northern Ontario. So it's Northern Ontario historical sites and stuff like that we're touring.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice. That's
playing the
so
Timmins
cool.
Museum and um, Knox Hall in Sudbury, and then we're playing a historic site here. We're starting the tour in Sault Ste. Marie, so which is where I am.
Nice.
There you go. So there you, excellent. I hope to see you guys if you do hit the road a little bit, maybe come through the area. It would be something to have you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, excellent. Okay, tell the folks where they can find out more about Satellite Birdhouse, your socials, your websites, and so on and so forth. Fire away.
Our website is satellitebirdhouse.com and our social media handle is Satellite Birdhouse everywhere.
And there you go.
Pretty simple.
See, you did just like the publicists always say, consistent.
Yes.
Yeah.
There you go. Can't thank you guys enough for coming on the program. I really do appreciate it. And
Thank you.
thank you because I know you guys are new at it and that some new folks don't want to jump on it, but you did. And I'm so happy that you did. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I love your tunes that you got. I can't wait to hear more, man. It's going to
Oh,
be
thanks so
great.
For
much.
sure.
Excellent. All righty. Satellite Birdhouse. Take care and have a good one. I'll see you guys on the other side.
You
See ya.
too.